Our tour, nationwide tour, the National Executive had a review meeting in this very hall, also funded and paid for by the Right Honorable Dr. Ajaratu Fatoumata Jahou. We made an honest overview of what we have seen and heard. And remember, each region was once. But there was a request for us to have another meeting in Fonyi. And we heeded. And we had a very, very good meeting at Kampani. Overall, we know, we are aware that there are some who have reservations. We are aware. And it will be foolhardy for us to believe that when we come out with this message, everybody will jump on board. What is happening is to know people's opinions and to gain what the majority of those people are saying. From KM to Ghana, we were amazed by the enthusiasm our people received this idea. In Fonyi, we are amazed how people comported themselves and agreed to what we do. We were posed with a lot of questions. Which honestly are genuine because of the fears they have. But we want to assure you all that we, the members of the National Executive Committee, will never, ever betray the Green Party. It is sometimes very disheartening to some of us that after going through this 4-year period together, with all what we have seen and heard, despite the challenges 2 years ago, when we had a short tussle within the party over leadership, still, some people can step aside with those people and leave us and believe that we, who have been proven a million times to be loyal, are not worth to be supported. It's regrettable, but I am confident that most people are only misinformed. If they get the message and the information, the Green Party will once again, as a family, come together. Then when we decided, after the review, and we are convinced that the vast majority of our militants, and by extension, even Gambians, in the supreme interest of the Gambia, And one of the lead ways of ensuring reconciliation within the Gambia, we decided to notify our party, that we have agreed as a party, and we should have a signing ceremony. And I am glad to report that the MOU agreement between the Alliance for Patriotic Reorientation and Construction and the National People's Party was signed on Thursday, 2nd September 2021. Okay, all right. Okay. All right, okay. All right, okay. All right, okay. Hello. Please. APRC All right, can we have silence? Please.
Oh, silence!
Let me continue. Please. Pamatar, help us.
Yes, I need my friend.
Please. Let us say yes. Alinto.
And inside the hold on.
Okay. Now, as I said, the MOU was signed on Thursday, 2nd of September 2021. You remember, there were those who were saying that this MOU will never be signed. Now, two issues. What have we basically agreed on with the NPP? Before that, I want to seize this opportunity to thank all members of the National People's Party for their maturity throughout the period. And I also want to thank His Excellency President Adam Barrow for his maturity, patriotism, care, selfless service to the Gambia throughout this difficult period. We salute him, we thank him, and we assure him that the Green Party, we are what we are. We never renege on what we say. The MOU was signed. As I said, there are important components of a negotiation that are not negotiable. We have, all of us, both parties, have the Gambia first in our hearts. That's why it was never impossible for us to reach an agreement. Key amongst the agreement is the alliance. We have agreed to form an alliance of the two political parties. We are aware that the other party is called the NPP-led coalition because there are other political parties in that coalition already, and the APRC. We are convinced that the two sides coming together is in the greater good of the Gambia and will ensure speedy reconciliation among Gambians. We have resolved and agreed that come 2021, all those members of the NPP and their sympathizers and all APRC members would vote for President Adam Barrow for the 2021 election. We have agreed that after the formation of the coalition and the success in our elections, there will be a coalition government where APRC will be part of the government. From every level, from ministerial to any other position. we have fundamentally agreed, because that is the core of our negotiations, that we as Africans, and for that matter, Gambia, we should come to the end where our political leaders, after leaving office, are traumatized, harassed, exiled, or even killed. For now and for posterity, it's not only what has happened now, but what may come tomorrow. We are aware and convinced that it's not only African leaders who commit errors during governance. No government in the world is perfect. But if you go to the ICC, only African leaders are tabled there. We have seen the arrogance and atrocities committed to people by this so-called Western world, around the world. Never have their leaders been taken to ICC or imprisoned or otherwise. Therefore, we have agreed that come Allah willing, 2021, and we are able to succeed. That for us, the light of this country, the beacon of hope, His Excellency Sheikh Professor Alhaji Dr. to be accorded the right with those people with him to come back peacefully to his home country. I have recognized and appreciated the goodwill on all sides. There are those, unfortunately, who believe otherwise. We have been crying over the years. Hardly are we covered, even by the various media houses. But we have said, and we have been vindicated, we have been vindicated by the current events in the Gambia today. We some time ago petitioned the president about the illegality of the TRRC. Yeah. We had earlier been saying throughout that the TRRC was meant to achieve set objectives by some people. Recently, we have seen and heard that the lead counsel of the TRRC, SFR, has thrown his heart into the political field. There are those who said it's a right for all Gambians. Yes, I believe so. Every eligible Gambian has a right to vie for any political office. But we are saying, yes, it's a right, but morally and ethically it is incorrect. For us, He used the TRRC as a platform for that for the gathering, to build this political image. We will have not squawked over it had he waited until the next election. But you are yet to submit your report. Because of the machinations you had and the talk in town, you think that could be a political boost for you. You're making a very serious mistake. For us, therefore, the TRRC report is best fitted for the dustbin. Who in his right mind would accept to see that report championed by somebody who is supposed to be apolitical, independent, honest, and patriotic? You are yet to bring your report. You are now vying for political office. What are you going to include in that report that will help you to achieve your goal? Gambia, we cannot always be crying over the past. We must begin to take the best from the past and move with it. And the bad ones, we leave it behind and forge ahead. All allegations against APRC and Babili Mansa would ever be reoccurring in this country and has occurred and will reoccur and anywhere else in this world. But the best of it was his positive achievements in this country. His positive achievements in this country cannot be denied. The champions of human rights during our time in office have mostly waned out. It looks like APRC is a government in power. People want to hear from the APRC, they want to talk about the APRC, and we are an opposition. Why don't you direct your things to government or to other political parties that we are within the coalition? We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for that. To conclude, because we don't have time, and I'm sure we are going to expect questions. I want to appeal. Let me say that in Banaka. Nakumalabam. APRC. Mbotakula janne to fomfu tarabi. Dia moshi atala tonya. Barakoyata nyaonya la nyama. Mpulukatu nyama la kirogole mpulumu family clinic. Anunia jam federation fobi na kulo na famajio na nyokano na babukano ani alama satalla ya bulo lankan ay mako. Dia momen bekeri nka fo modien ndol fananja diam la bande benko ndefon fon remember temu député won tinu ndol la diam ndol la meki folo mo diamol nu ngita ticha fanante de diamol bare min kan dendi wala mu nyaato ko ya mo suntu kumol But so to come from the family will be near Faye. To come from Kumbol. Me and Jackal. Whatever. Mbenga Gijan. Mini being anti-coalitional norm. Mini back home. Near Jelly. Nalbe. For Alanate, I bonding con. Itata patio gold. Ibotawo itata patio gold. You mean for the Amamokum? Amamokum. Ning APRC call. Ye nyati ninjane ye National Executive Committee mo jube. Mi ya donc ko kabrin 2017 akola ga nyaaw nyama be tete ñoo balal lum nana man to dom bortal ko na wo mol ni to lela o kadimi bak bari nga ñi londe ko ma foy bede ko man sene ya do la ye mis informe bari nga ñu falé ko as usual na arms are open balu be yeladin mo ye ko ku fomma ye ko ku kemma ye minal ke ndol ya fote ani mi manke APRC ko bari united we move forward, divided may Allah forbid we will retrogress. So my appeal is to all of you, in the name and interest of the Gambia, some of your agreements, Allah kumodol walemu malla barola yemid lankam tonya bar politiko bo nyamani PPP yemune la oppositional kan APRC ni oppositional coalition of running oppositional but who killing is constant wala mune mum to la interesting bo buka fali bari teri bi political tero bi samaskeno ijawoto ani ngajede nindo lebe APRC kunu ile ijao bi samaskeno tero ani ngamin cross wala mi ko NPP yemi APRC muta nyame ani na tanje nyame ya lonko definitely kujama ka ko APRC iko leka. So I want to appeal to every APRC member and those who have been silent and sitting aside, come forward. We move our great party to the Gambia to higher heights. I have just been reminded that time is going. But once again, I thank everybody. We will open the questions. And then we will do our best to answer those questions. And those doubting Thomases, please put your guns and swords down. APRC will never relent. We will never go back. We will move forward, believing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, the Right Honorable and It's definitely been spelled out. I believe the message justice has been done to deliver it. And once again, we as APRC, both the National Executive Committee and the General Membership, want to immensely thank him and to pray for his well-being, good health and long life. We have learned a lot through his leadership, and he always demonstrates how a leader should be. He has helped, I would say, all of us being part of the executive to build and improve our capacity as far as leadership is concerned. He is not only a leader, but a mentor, a counselor. Whoever has problems, you come to him. He will show you a way how to tackle such problems and issues. If the executive trodden a path that was so difficult from 2017 up to date, thanks to the Right Honorable Alhaji Babakari Tombo. We cherish him, we honor him, and we wish that he will forever be with us to lead us in anything that APRC as a party will turn on, because there's always hope once you are with the Right Honorable Alhaji Babakari Tombo. Before we join into question and answer session, they have been mentioned. I just want to repeat it again. We want to recognize the presence of the following: National People's Party members and sympathizers in our midst. We want to welcome you once again. We also want to recognize and welcome the first general of this country, General Lamtombo Tamba. You're welcome once again. We also want to recognize and welcome His Excellency Colonel Samson Sir in our midst. Welcome, Your Excellency. We also want to recognize and cherish and thank and pray for her continuous efforts in supporting this party through numerous ways, not only APRC but its membership and groups that were definitely that is the Right Honorable Dr. Fatima Sise. We definitely want to pray. We want to recognize the presence of APRC councillors, both selected and elected in our midst. We want to welcome you in such a gathering. We also want to recognize and thank honorable members from the National Assembly who has come to answer this call and to grace this occasion. Welcome, your honorables. We also want to recognize Bakeba Jabi. He's a religious leader, and in our midst, we want to tell you welcome and thank you for honoring us. We also want to recognize Captain Bire Jamme and friends who are here to represent the family of Jamme Kunda. We also want to recognize former APRC national members who are in our midst through the leadership of Honorable Abdullah Suku Singate. Welcome back to your home, we would say. We want to recognize all people that are in our midst, but especially Honorable Balaga Bajahumpa, known as Action Man. I would definitely want to give him a minute. People have not heard from him for a very long time. He had challenges with health issues, but thank to the Almighty, he is in our midst today. He is very healthy and alive. Honorable, a word or two for people that are present here.
Thank you very much, Honorable Dudika, and thank you, our professional, experienced, knowledgeable interim leader, Honorable Babakari Tombo, for giving me this privilege. It's not a right to address the supporters of the APRC and equally the supporters of the NPP. I would like to thank the whole national executive of the APRC. Because what I like about the APRC is construction. So this alliance indicates that this country is back to the construction of the Gambia. That's why the APRC, I don't think is a party, is a revolutionary movement for the development of this beloved nation. And God willing, because there is only one God, Surah Al-Ikhlas. His Excellency President Adam Cairo is going to win this election because the APRC as a light party and the NPP as the People's Party, that combination is a Titanic for development. I will end because the APRC is going to the NPP with the incumbent president, His Excellency President Adam Cairo. We are going to present with him not our old project, but our new project. I will give you some of it, because as a nation for 53 years, the Gambia deserves a second airport. Because if anything happens, God forbid, to these elections, then we have difficulties. Therefore, it is necessary to have a second airport. And secondly, we also intend to build 2 additional general hospitals, one in the West Coast and one as far as Pasay. And for the first time in the history of this nation, we all know that we have plenty of mangoes, but they fell down because we don't have storage for mangoes, and it is the cows that enjoy them. But we, the APRC, have decided that we are going to construct a mango processing plant so that we can produce mango juice. We are going to construct a groundnut processing plant so that we can produce our own groundnuts. But in APRC Congo, and in NPP Congo, and in Gambian Congo, Almakarte Fai, ni Allah fitan nyatana tota, ni Allah fitan nafa, Aliye Karte Fai, His Excellency President Adam Cairo. Walati naingaya ko, Ningambia tata nyato, nafa babi je pu Gambia kebal. Ningambia tata nyato fanan, nafa babi je pu Gambia funding ken. Ningambia tata nyato fanan, nafa babi je pu Gambia musul. Walati na aksar mamko, Gambia musul, yena masaf lente.
Thank you very much, Action Man.
Can you make one announcement?
Assalamu alaikum. I have forgotten one announcement. Please. One more announcement. APRC. Effective today.
Okay.
APRC, NPP would work together at all levels towards achieving our goals for 2021 December. So when you go back, APRC, NPP, they are the same mother and father working for the betterment of this country. Please, put all things down. Let nobody ask us about those questions.
Thank you very much. I don't think we have to reveal all the projects we have before others will use it for campaign. Let's shelf them. I will continue to recognize the presence and to thank the APRC Council of Elders through the leadership of Ajabeti Sen, who has spent all her resources in difficult moments up till today to support this beautiful and mighty party APRC. I would want to make one announcement and two other words be given before we open the session for question and answers. The APRC Vanguards, they will hold a meeting at Yundum on the 11th of this month to thank the National Executive Committee for your notice. I want to bring this to your notice that the APRC NPP negotiating teams or negotiation lasted for 5 weeks last Wednesday. 5 weeks last Wednesday. Take this information along. For people who believe that this negotiation started since 2018, it was never true. It is only 5 weeks last Wednesday. Put that in your diaries.
All those people here, there is one at Mayor College Place in Kalending.
Yes.
All those people here, they can pass by and not be alone.
Okay. And to tell you that the tour we did for the consultative meetings, it were open meetings for information dissemination. That is, live broadcasts were done through the help of APRC Online TV, PYFC Online TV, KM Online Radio, APRC Diaspora Online Radio, and individual reporters. It was not secret meetings, but open, and everybody heard and saw what were discussed in all the regions. So it was nothing that was cooked up or made up. Before I come to the media houses and journalists for question and answer session, also to announce and inform everybody present here that lunch will be served at former Lord Mayor Yakuba Koli's home in Talinding. From here, everybody is invited for lunch. Pour yegal mbokk yi ne képp ku fi teew añ am na buñ jógee fii ci kër Yakuba Koli Talinding ñëpp mun nañoo dem añ pour que baadiŋol kala mutandi ni nimbota jang kontongoɓe former Lord Mayor Yakuba Koli Talinding albe buña bijee. Again, to the press, question and answer session. Let's talk about what has been discussed or ask questions related to issues that are important. And we are going to limit the number of questions because we are already out of time. We have 2 microphones here. Fabel or Paibu, can you help me to facilitate the mics to go to whoever wants to ask a question? But again, can you introduce yourself, name and which media you represent before you put forward your question? And we will appeal 1 question at a time. Please, 1 question at a time. Can we have the other 2 mics connected, please? Media or technician?
Time is against us. Time is against us.
He's asking. Hello, Bob. Yes. Jamarek, I chair the press conference for
Okay, Atol Malorin aside Alba Wudura ceremony. Mona Nazadam, Purkanela Kakibaro Takasama. And in Lapele, Patina in the Gala Mona Gadro Yamoya Senera. Momona Takachara, please go out of the hall and disperse.
fair. This hall is purposely for the press conference. I'm not trying to understand, please. More than put information on that Samba Kadira Mola. Now, Daniel, Alana Boy Salah, what it happened to Alec Chavo.
Has President given green light for this coalition with the APRC NPP? If so, why is it that certain number of APRC are opposed to this coalition?
I am not hearing.
Why the Christ take it again? He's not hearing.
Invite.
The Quatilida is not hearing.
Rambo.
I need them to please.
Go ahead.
My question is, has President given green light for this APRC NPP coalition? My question is, has President given green light for this APRC NPP coalition? And if yes, why is it that some member of APRC that know that you are setting the party for the current president? And the second one is, what makes you think that President Barrow will honor the agreement if you mean election in 2021, considering what happened with the previous coalition members, many said he broke promises?
Before you answer, can we respect the protocols? One question at a time, please. It's just an appeal. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Is President, former President Yahya Abdul Aziz Dungu Jammeh aware that question has been posed several times? I don't think there is need even for that question, to be honest with you. We have never operated as a party without seeking the advice of former President Jammeh. But what people want to hear, I hear people say, Yaya Jammeh Diam, Yaya Jammeh Keten. It's today that people are going to say that. They have never been asking those questions before. So what I'm saying, very categorical, whatever we are doing, former President Yahya Jammeh is aware and has endorsed. Two, what is the other one was? Yeah, I have heard these questions, not only from you, from a lot of people, to say, how sure are we that President Barrow would honor this agreement, taking cue from the former coalition? I have a completely different view. In all my relations with current President Adam Barrow, I have never at any moment doubted his sincerity and commitment. Two, the issue of the breakdown of the coalition. For me, I have said it and I will say it again. We are all aware that come the advent of the coalition, President Adam Barrow made it very clear to all Gambians that I'm a novice in politics. I have no political experience, but I have my godfather who has expertise in all these things. And we all saw it well that his godfather was the be-all and the end-all in all what happens in this country. You are moved, it was going on, he was at the foreign service, from there he became the vice president. At that point, with all the dues given, if I were President Adam Barrow, it would not have taken that long for him to be vice president. And I will want the journalists to recall my interview. I said those days, if I were President Adam Barrow, I would dismiss my vice president before he resigned. And I said, if I were the vice president, I would resign before I am dismissed. Look, let's be honest. None of you speculating about or doubting Adam Barrow's sincerity would accept, after giving dues to everybody, at the end where you are sitting, the eyes are on where you are sitting for you to come and sit there. Even if you are my son, you will fall apart. So for us, we have not seen anything that can convince us that President Adam Barrow, we cannot count on him. We will not be baffled by what people say. The 3-year governor, if you remember, we were contacted, it was a political day said, we refused. Because we knew then the underlying factor behind. So for us, we are also equally aware that political agreement anywhere in the world is based on trust and goodwill. No leader would give responsibility or do anything against somebody he does not trust. So it's all about trust. And we APRC, we are known to be consistent as constant as the Northern Star. We don't waver. We are focused. We believe in the Gambia, in the Green Party, and the legacy of our supreme leader, and then we will move that way. We don't beat about, flip-flopping from one area to the other. That's not APRC. When we say it's A, we go in A. Come rain, come storm. And so far, so good, we have that trust in President Adam Barrow.
Thank you very much. We have our next question.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. My name is Labin Jai. I am the editor of the Project Network. My question is, I think my question has been asked by one, so I would want to ask regarding the letter of your condition for former President Jammeh to return to the Gambia. Can you talk to us about the timeline? Did you agree with NPP vis-a-vis President Barrow as to when exactly you want the former president to return to the Gambia?
You see, sometimes I tend to be baffled by certain questions. As anywhere, political agreements don't go into those specifics. What we are saying is, this agreement comes into force after we achieve what we are going for. If we go into the 2021 elections, all these things are processes. And if we are part of the system, we will know the process, we will be able to monitor the process, we will know whether there is goodwill or bad will, we will be able to monitor those things. All what we are concerned with, we have agreed in principle, based on trust, that come the alliance, forming a coalition, these are the things that we will work through to see done. You cannot say that immediately it happens, it's going to be done on, let's say, December 7th. We cannot do that. It is going to be worked out. We are core, the foundation. We are solid. And our objective is to get former President Yahya Jammeh to the country peacefully, in dignity. And make no mistake, that gesture would be a good one for any government, because the plurality of the Gambia, for the stability of this country, you cannot ignore the influence, the good work of former President Yahya Jammeh.
Thank you, Honorable.
name is Salijan. I'm a freelance reporter. My question is, Honorable Farakari, you said APRC will always endeavor to achieve things that are in interest of the APRC party. What is entailed in this agreement that is of the interest of APRC party?
I think I've said it. Key among the whole thing, we are all in agreement that the Gambia is so divided and fragile as we speak today. So, with the Green Party, the party that is that had gone out of office, coming together with the incumbent party, that is usually unprecedented. And that is going to be the booster for Gambians to reconcile. 1. 2. We as a party have had 20 or more years of political experience and leadership. We try over that President Barrow is inexperienced or some of his people are inexperienced. Together, we can make a better Gambia to improve the life of Gambia. 3, there are a lot of things that were left around by our party. How we were able to go through them, what made it possible for us to have those things. We were able to share all those ideas and shall allow Gambian youths and women will benefit more from this coalition government in 2020. So these are some of the advantages. And as I told you, the youths, it's high time the youths of Africa, not only the Gambia, we begin to rethink and have a different mindset about our leaders. If you look at the history of Africa, I said this, I have been a Pan-African parliamentarian since 2004 up to 2017. I always advocate for this. Look, there is no government in the world that is not going to be perfect. All what we can do is to look at the weaknesses and put in mechanisms to prevent recurrences. But to be withholding our leaders, to be torturing them, humiliating them, it does not tell well of Africa. As if only African leaders are the bad ones. We are aware that there are rotting bad ones within the Western world. We are aware. So what we are saying, what we are advocating is, not only for President Yahya Jammeh, we are saying in subsequent events, let's try to deal with our former leaders and allow them to live in a dignified life. If there are errors, there are mistakes, we take the process, bearing in mind that no human being is perfect. But with one thing, I am the president today. When you come back, you look at my mistake, you send me to exile me or kill me. Somebody comes in, you pay the same price. Another person comes in, you pay the same time. When is that going to end? And that's not the interest of the people who we intend to serve. The people want bread and butter on their table. They want to have education. They want to have health. They want to have places to work in. These are the basic things that people love. So we should concentrate on those things. We cannot be crying over spilled milk all our life. That's what we are saying. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable. I'll be taking the question zigzag, this side and the other side. Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I have a couple of questions for Honorable. That's by protocol and let's ask one. Honorable, you talked about the issue of, I am Omar Bahar, of course, from the Standard newspaper. During your deliberations, you talked about the fact that all the executive, of course, of the party have agreed all the executive of the party have agreed to this alliance with the NPP, except two. we have not been seeing Amun Nyasi, the spokesperson of the party. It's been rumored that probably he is among those who are against the Amun. Who are these two? And where is Amun?
Thank you very much.
You see, I got worried when you said you came from the Standard. You see, I have said this over and over. APRC would never face its militants and lie to them. Never. It will not help us. Allah will be annoyed with us, and we may respond. So we are believers. Honorable Musa Amur Nyasi has been with us throughout. You have seen it. Throughout the talk. Honorable Musa Amur Nyasi
spoke at Kampan.
Made a wonderful speech at Kampan. His Honorable Musa Amur Nyasi is not here. You are saying people are speculating. We people are speculating. You are speculating. I am confident that people are not speculating. Because all APRC people here know that Musa Amur Nyasi is with us. Musa was with us throughout the tour. Musa made a wonderful speech at his own phony. If by whatever cost, there are some executive members who are not here. Does that mean that Alagi Sampun Jamme is not here? We have granted him permission. Musa, Honorable Amur Nyasi has an issue, we granted him permission. How can people now speculate? Honorable Sunkari Badi is also not here. So what we are saying is, why do people have to be speculating about APRC and not other political parties? Anybody who tries, be you a journalist or anybody, you will always fail. We will never lie. If we don't know, we don't know. If we are not in agreement, we are not in agreement. If 30 people say in the executive they don't want, we will tell you 30 people say they don't want. We are telling you that at that executive meeting, 2 people.
Do we need to talk about their names?
No, the other person, we only assumed him, but he was even not at the executive meeting. At the executive meeting that day, about 4/5 of the membership were present. But only one. The other party would not come. We just heard his comments and we assumed that he is also not with us. But at that particular meeting, only one person. But even if it were 10, the current government, the coalition government I mean, was a minority government. Most Gambians never voted for them. But because they had the highest of the lot, they became the government. But if you look at it, APRC with GDC is more than what they had. Unlike us, we had always been in power with more than 50% of the vote for the 20 years. So what we are saying is, we are aware that there are members of the party who have 2 minds about this coalition. I have said it very clearly. They have it. Some very genuine, because they are not properly informed. But I am confident that genuine APRC members would sooner than later join the bandwagon for the good of the party, for the good of the Gambia, and for the good of all of us.
Thank you very much, Honorable. I would definitely at this juncture want to make his presence felt by everybody in this room, who is no other than Field Marshal General Bakso Jaite. He's the national coordinator of the APRC. I would also definitely want to welcome and recognize the presence of a brother and a friend who is very close to the president. I would say his right hand, who is none other than Honorable Lamin Seydi. Welcome, my brother. The question and answer session continues.
Mamadou Dia from the point. Okay, my name is Mamadou Dia and I'm from the point. Well, there is campaign. Okay, there is campaign ongoing. That is the big government coming to for prosecution of alleged allegation of human rights violation. Did your argument protect? Did your MOU protect government from prosecution?
No, it's not for you. It's not for you, I said. Please. It's not for you.
You see, I want to believe that we should update ourselves. From day one of the TRRC, we as a party have always said, and we continue to say, that we agree to the TRRC to investigate into the activities of our government, to establish the truth, to ensure reconciliation, reparation, under the Gambia moves forward. We have ever believed. We doubted. What we doubted was the composition of the TRRC does not reflect anything that we believe will bring about the truth and reconciling Gambia. When we had the people like Alaji Barrow, a coupist, 2014 coupist, who escaped to the United States of America, he was held and prosecuted there and sentenced, welcomed in the Gambia by honorable ministers and taken to the TRRC to investigate the government that he had taken arms to overthrow. We would not expect truth in that. The essence of TRRC is to establish the truth, so that governments that come and go will learn from it and put in mechanisms to prevent recurrences of those actions. It's not always to punish and victimize and do all these things. It's not always. So, but you are also aware, that we as a party, we said those who have been affected, honestly, should be fully remunerated. But you are keeping quiet. The alleged victims, from my understanding, only received about 50 million. Let's ask the question. How much money was spent on the TRRC from the beginning to the end? How much money was spent on the TRRC? That's meant to find the truth and pay reparations. It is 100 million times more than the money given to these people. So why are you people not asking that? The other thing I want to say is, even if you have committed the worst crime in the world, not only in the Gambia, by the Constitution, in the name of reconciliation and the good of a country, the president can pardon anybody. It has happened. It has happened. People who have been convicted and sentenced, the president gave them, pardoned them. The WhatsApp group, they have been, a lot of other things happen. You have seen that. Why is President Jammeh your problem? And most of you people have immensely benefited from his government.
All of them.
So what we are saying is, those things, even if you look at the whole thing, the whole agreement, the constitution of the Gambia is the supreme law of the land. No agreement can supersede it. So for us, we believe that in the interest of reconciliation and the good of the Gambia, and for the Gambia to move forward, we have to faith and believe that the NPP government, led by President Adama Barrow, has the same vision for the Gambia. We are also aware that whatever is in that agreement is based on the trust and mutual understanding between the parties. We are aware. If you have doubts about it, that's fine. That's fine. We cannot do anything about it. But we are convinced, and we believe this is the surest way of reconciling Gambians and putting Gambia on a better footing and moving on to forward for the good of everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable. We have the next question.
Yeah, good afternoon to you all. My name is Nelson Mane from Korea newspaper. My question is with regards to the MOU. Most of the times when political parties form coalition, they write an MOU. And this MOU is not seen public. We want to know whether your MOU can be public. Whenever we go to that.
Our MOU is only public mostly to our APRC militants and not to everybody. Because we have learned our lessons. If you look at the petition we wrote to the president, we refused to circulate it around. Members told me that why don't we send these copies to various media houses, embassies and all these things. And I said no. We have circulated a lot of our documents to various institutions, media houses, a lot of other places, human rights groups, AU, UN, name them. We hardly would get even a response. And what we do now, what we understand is they use some of the black spots in that report and use it against us. We have learned that lesson. We will not give anybody that report. The APRC people believe in us, and we will never lie to them, and we have told them what we have agreed. So for us to circulate that, don't bother yourself. We will not do it. As we did with our petition. We never circulated it. We will not circulate. We learned our lessons. I have said this. You see, people should go back and reflect again. APRC, we are Gambia. We are a registered political party. As journalists, whether you hate us or you don't hate us, I think you should treat us all equal. As a human rights activist, if we are bullied, you should say the same. Even if you assume that we bully people. But that's not what is happening. And we cannot allow ourselves to be falling into traps that we will pay negative price for. We are open and transparent to our people and those genuine ones who want to be with us. But otherwise, some of these documents, we will never circulate.
Thank you, Honorable. I think I want to take 2 more questions, if that will do.
Hello. Well, I don't have much to ask basically, but then I think the message is very clear. I am Director, of course, from the Barrow Media Empowerment. And my question is, what is the way forward right now? Because I can see the excitement from the both parties. So what is the way forward from here? For, of course, APRC and NPP, what is the way forward basically?
I think that's a very important question. You see, so today, I have announced here to all APRC members, effective today, APRC and NPP, one people, one blood, one family, one And you are aware that APRC, we have experts in all domains in politics.
Yes.
We are going to work with our NPP brothers and sisters, and we will come out with a program of activities. that will ensure that come 2021, President Adama Barrow secures over 75% of the votes of the Senate. We can do it, and I can assure you we will do it. So our program will start. Committees will be working, various things will be working, programs will be prepared, activities will be prepared, and the movement will be done. Together, we will do certain issues. Sometimes we will go this way, they will go the other way. Sometimes we will box up and move to make sure that people understand and the ground is level so that Gambia can move forward. There is a about that.
Thank you, Honorable.
I am Suleiman from the Korean newspaper. Honorable Jaga, you have been calling on conditional return of former President Jammeh several times.
Unconditional return of former president.
You have been calling on conditional return of former President Jammeh several. And in your agreement with the National People's Party, you made a series of agreements that you made with them. And it seems the most outstanding agreement with the National People's Party is the unconditional return of former President Jammeh. And what will be the action of the APRC party if you succeed in winning the election and then you stay 3 years in power without facilitating the unconditional return of former President Jammeh?
Thank you very much. Unfortunately, we are not God. We will not. We don't speculate to say tomorrow, and this thing does not happen. What will you do? When the time comes, we will know the facts and we will act accordingly. But as I told you, we have no cause whatsoever to have doubt as to what we have agreed on. And we know, of course, that government issues is a process. And we are going to be part of the system. So we will understand whether it's a deliberate action or it is certain obstacles that are legitimately there that we will try to work together to bring it out. So it's not a matter of what would we do on all these things. We don't have that doubt. If you speculate, you don't know what will lead to that, and then you come and speculate. ñaareel bi mooy waaw you are talking about cheap vehicles. Boobu negotiation has been on for a long time, and let me tell you APRC ba tey suñu account yi bu ñu teg loxo si suñu account bi ba tey boobu moom ko suñu oto yi buy jël ñu si ñoom mu laalu dara si loolu is arrangement bi NPP tam am na ay nit ñu baax ñoo xam ne mun nañ support NPP mun nañ support ñu bugg a Friday, next Saturday you go out. But when you go to find out, then I have to, I'm not being the just health body, near Lolo, and now Lolo Motor. Look at the party. We know that these are negotiations. And we have concluded negotiations with NPP. We know one day we are going to do our press conference on this day. You know, I'm saying that no, let's postpone it. And then we said we are going to do it on Friday, on Saturday day. So I don't know, you think alone. Why would people want to know even the internal distance of the party? I'm not know how many
Your mic.
I'm not know how many even the APRC militant. Every executive has some other things don't have to go back. Do something. You let they are certain things, they are confidential. So we cannot take care of those things. What we have read more is our own internal activity. We go there on Wednesday, take it.
You people have asked. We have those who did not ask.
Does this MOU between APRC and NPP go beyond the presidential election?
I'm not hearing.
Does the MOU between APRC and NPP goes beyond the presidential election?
Yes. It's a good question.
Yeah, for sure, the MOU itself actualized after the presidential election. And MOU have a duration. When for instance, it goes to a period of at the end of the duration, the two parties, within the MOU itself, you see that parties will have consultative meetings over issues and all these things. Because it may develop into a bigger thing than it is. It is possible. So it will go beyond and beyond. As and when necessary, it will be renewed and we go on.
Thank you, Honorable. I will just take one question on this side, then we'll withdraw the question. Okay. I can only give one.
Good evening. My name is Keba Mangoy from Korea newspaper. Okay. A couple of minutes ago, Honorable Gabet Zahonga just revealed to us some of the plans that the APRC have for the Gambia. One of which is the building or construction of two major hospitals. Now, why would you wait for an election year why would you wait for an election year to give these promises when you could have done it during your 22 years of government? No, I have to question.
Only one.
Okay. Second one is...
No, only one question. Only one. I just want to do justice here. I only allow people one question. I don't want to give any privileges to someone. Thank you.
Yeah, his question actually is Bala Gaba Jahupa made recommendations about APRC programs or projects. He asked the question, why now, why are we doing that during election year? And two, why did we do it before? You know, I think some of you are laymen in politics. Governments or political parties have programs and prioritize. If you look at it, the Gambia had never had a hospital from their elected government. Never. From 1965, when we got independent, to 1994, there was no hospital built by that government. We had only two hospitals, Bantang and Royal Victoria Hospital, built by our colonial master. APRC, what he is telling you is APRC had programs. And among those programs, he leveled this. We had the program of building a hospital in Farafenye, a hospital in Buyam, a hospital in Bundu, a hospital in Serekunda, and a hospital in West Coast region, a hospital in the Far East. That's the program. It has been going on. We have built, I don't know, 4 or so. The 2 remaining are what's pending. That's what he's telling you. We cannot do all at the same time. And please note that during our time, with 20 years we were in government, we were mostly sanctioned by the West. Unlike the coalition government, who had millions and millions of grants and these things from the Western world. But with all that, we were able to impact on the lives of Gambians in all areas. Some people were asking Bagri himself, where are you getting the money? And he used to say, from Alasba. So, the whole thing, what he's telling you is, Bala was a cabinet member throughout. He's telling you the program of the party is not conclusive. We have all those things. If you want the road networks also, he would have given you. With all what we have done, there are still some that are to come as we go. This is what he is telling you. Why are we doing it now? We are not doing it now. We are doing a press conference to inform. And he's adding that to show you that our collaboration with the NPP would add value to the NPP and to the governance. That's what he said. We are not saying, we are not propaganda for that. What we have achieved is enough propaganda, even if we don't do anything. Some of you are schooled in our universities. You will never have had university education. Most of us come from poor families. What used to happen was the then government, the ministers and all these things would give scholarships to their children and their friends' children and go. When they step aside, those people will come and replace us. We will just be clapping and clapping. When President Jammeh and the APRC built the university, with 90% of them on scholarship, almost 95% from the poor, from the rural poor. That has changed with time. Now that we can boast of a lot of university students, and most of them we have sent them. Remember, some 2 years ago or 3 years ago, about 100 and something postgraduate students came back. Those were sent by Jammeh's government. So this is what we have achieved. Even if you close your eyes, you will see it. Honestly, I'm telling you. Yes, you can talk about our limitations, human rights, democracy, whatever you have it. But I assure you, there is no perfect system. And sometimes, that's why when we came in, we said we are in opposition with a difference. You know why? We took discipline and Allah. We respect government. Even with all what they were doing to us, we were not insulting them. We gave them their dues, but we were engaging them to solve problems, rather than go into the street destroying things under private property. We don't do that. So that's what we are saying. Sometimes opposition parties force government into certain actions. That is true. So we are not using it as a political campaign tool. He just mentioning it, that when the two parties come together, it will add value to the whole coalition, and the Gambians will benefit more, because we will share ideas and experiences, and the better deliver to the people of the Gambia.
Thank you very much, Honorable.
That the APRC is one leadership. Nobody can use the APRC name or whatever in any political forum without the approval of the leadership.
Thank you very much, Party Leader. I want to make this known to the media. As the APRC is known, we normally don't restrict the number of questions you want to ask. We've rented this place for 2 hours, 3 to 5. And thanks to Honorable Dr. Fatmata Jokobasise, extended for another 1 hour. And it's like we have 9 minutes to go. We don't want to be found wanting in breaking any law or rules as far as the APRC is concerned. So we would want to definitely appeal that this is the amount of questions we can take. But before we call it off, we want to make this clear, and whilst I say that, I want to invite Honorable Abdul Bajan to give vote of thanks on behalf of the APRC membership.
In the tomorrow's program, we want to where we saw, we want to all the people, after the national again, we are supposed to invite them to the meeting tomorrow, but it is postponed.
Yeah.
We postponed it, we will schedule the date. We have been tired. We are going to be scheduled.
West Bajan, if you are here, can you come forward before I give the mic to Lakso? I also want to make this clear. There are people within APRC who are saying no to coalition. As a party, we respect the views, the stance of people, what they represent. As a party, it does not warrant anybody the right to organize rallies or meetings or events or activities under the name APRC without the approval of the National Executive Committee of the APRC. We have a very responsible leadership, and we are not going to bed and ignoring such activities. There are laws in this country. We have the Election Act, and there's a body responsible for that. People who are in charge of the party, they have their names and signatures there. It's not for anybody to create a group under APRC. They can give it whatever name they want, but not APRC, and they can go on with their activities. That we recognize, and we have no qualms about that. Before Bayan comes forth, I think the national coordinator wants to say something. Then Bayan can give the vote of thanks on behalf of the APRC.
But I told you to look at an answer.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. APRC balik tentu nang balik kaila. Hari patio mendakabrin 2017 atau 2018. Di kota bangun mare. Kalian kele na kelele with unity. nga soto laftala nyame ko APRC ni maya na kanara the opportunity is the interest of APRC and the interest of Gambia and the interest of His Excellency Sir Professor Dr. Alhaji Yaya Abdul Aziz James Kumpul Jamme Babuli Masi and the interest of Mohamed Yalonko Alasta Banko because Bile Bekelam Nampu Foloti Mari Jai Danilo Bembul Meatu Namba Jaina Banko Niya Jubempi na unity le nanta unity le mirala pour Banko Ekeli Name Woto President Adama Hino Mamoudou Baro Tonya ke Kendoro Tonya APRC ibe monitor kami kabere 2016 up to 2017 up to now na yeto ila legacy le fitina Gambia kono wo legacy ni botaje dunia ya fo wala mo nyente ko ka Gambia ngol be brodi nyona ke bakelin fakelinti woto bravo to NPP and President Barrow and his team woto bi nten ñing ko banna wala na ko di right honorable fa bakar keke do tombo jato jaata ko ñim dulato nanta biya mulale aduna nindi amuta ananta biya la ñele first mbe di right honorable fa bakar keke do tombo jato jaata mba tentula mba jayila ko foro akaka foro ronnete billahi wallahi taala foro kake foro damale kabiri lume mbe ñu no nana the right honorable fa bakar keke do tombo jato jaata bulu ako bakso nal tembitre la nani bita nim fata APRC le nim fata President Jamele thanks God to the right honorable Fabakar Kekendo bravo may Allah bless you may Allah guide you may Allah lumen the Babili Masa will accord with dignity and welcome with pride ya mabe woto APRC kolo tay mo teje nin tolo bota jang wite solam lafta fala daming mba futan la jele adun sallahu with APRC with NPP is a foregone conclusion, it's a done deal. May Allah bless the entire NPP and APRC. My voters card today I can announce I am going to be the first person to vote for President Barrow. May Allah bless and protect and the entire team. Allah barakabake. My able ntenna my ko landila mang fangola muso kontong my soft touch. I like you and I love you. Ntenna my ko landila na best friend be jang menke alhaji suku singatati momo yalum kaira kuo bedema kuo ka kuo modi kekkelinti wodo sarten to ngale jayi APRC bravo, I am happy. Vanguard, God bless and protect. We are coming, and we are coming in a big way. May Allah bless and protect the Right Honorable Alhaji Yaya Abdul Aziz James Kunkung Jamme Babili Masa.
Thank you very much. Can we have Banyan, please? I would like to announce those who went for the tour, that is the consultative meeting stop. Tomorrow was scheduled to have a barbecue, but it has been cancelled and postponed for another day that will be announced later. If Banyan is not around, then...
Silent prayer.
Okay, I think there is a brief one, please. Can you give a vote of thanks on behalf of the APRC delegation?
Adama.
Alhaji Babakar Monjata, another National Executive Day. The weekend will make the 12th of February 2017. The Abdullah Naklam Kunal APRC will be a club. Otokang Fabido Kofra Dito, Alhamdulillah, the regional committee will get and Jay, my constituency committee will get and Jay, and the communal tentu, Musikunda, Fonike Kunda, and Alfal Bay. Mbafala, Right Honorable Alhaji Babakar Monjata, Nafofele Bangoto, Abaraka, Almalejo. Yakata, Almalejo. Mbe APRC will be to Fana. Mbafala Yako, Ngalahido Menta, His Excellency, Sec Professor Dr. Alhaji AJJ Jambe Babin Mansa, Katentu Kajay, and Nun, Mbafasa Kaisa will be for Faunsa Allah Nera Kijita. Korobekeno Nyadile, Right Honorable Babakar Monjata, I still maintain the most lomuta. Mandinkolko, Kuno Buka Tumbujo, Adimo Dakono, Nalong the French and Nakon, and Nafati B, or Nafati Sama, Bapra and Mara, Assalamu alaikum, Rahmatullahi,
Honorable. That will be going back to Talinding, and we're going in a convoy. We want to thank the media immensely, and all those who honored our invitation to raise this press conference.
Somebody left his mobile here.
You all be rewarded. We can all do our silent prayer.
Proposed meeting with the 12 delegates.
I've said it. Mobile.